Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via. There's a picture of me. I just took a selfie just now as I was starting to get ready to teach this class. That's my gym, some of my gym behind me. I'm going to take that away and tell you that today is November 2nd, and Kathy is not spotlighted, so I'm going to spotlight her. Oh, I know why she's not spotlighted. No. Technical. I had to set and reset, reboot. I had to reboot the spotlight. So Kathy is our model. She's on the floor as usual, and you should be too. So we're going to start on your back, supine, just watching your breath, noticing the floor and how it supports you. Noticing the breath that you came with. And then start to focus on a spot behind your eye sockets and just a little bit below the sockets. So it's where, think of the optical nerve as coming back, nerves is coming back behind the eye sockets and crossing. And then just underneath where they cross is the pituitary gland. Spend some time here. This is a very quiet place to rest your mind. Bring your hands behind your head for vagus nerve reset. The hands are there to keep your head stable while you move just your eyeballs, shifting your eyeballs to the right and waiting for an involuntary sigh, yawn, swallow, or gulp. Your eyes can be closed or open. Nothing moves but the eyeballs. Come back to center, shift your eyeballs to the left. Come back to center, repeat 2 more times, 2 more sets, right, left, right, left. Finish up. Leave your hands where they are. Begin to ramp your head ramping. Press your occipital ridge, the back of the skull, into the mat, and it slides up along the mat. Your chin drops a bit. Hold for a couple breaths and then release. You're not really moving your cervical spine, you're moving your skull. You may feel some adjustments to your cervical spine when you do this. Feel the connection of your cervical spine with your thoracic spine. And then relax a little bit. Come out with, put your hands on the floor beside your hips. We're going to do Viloma breathing. In Viloma breathing, the breath is divided into three parts on the inhale, not the exhale. The exhale is ordinary, normal. But inhale, pause, inhale, fill up a third of the lungs, and then inhale again, filling up the second third, pause, inhale, last third, and pause. And repeat. So you're exhaling normally. One more breath. And then bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. So roll around. We're going to do a proning hypopressive, basically. You're on your hands and knees. Drop down to your elbows. Make a triangle with your hands together and your elbows apart. Drop all the way down. Stay long. And we're going to do 3 ordinary breaths and then hold your breath for 12 counts. I'll cue all of that. Inhale. Exhale. If your head doesn't meet the floor, go ahead and put a pillow or brick, yoga blocks under it. It should be resting on something. Last breath, inhale. Last exhale. All the way out. Hold your breath out. No breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Inhale and exhale, stop. And let's go ahead and find our way. We're going to do that same thing probably at the end of the class, another proning hypopressive. But for now, find your brick and your therapy balls in a tote. They can be big or little. We're going to do the neck and jaw release series. If it's hard for you, if it's a lot of pressure for this series, lying on your brick with your balls, you can take one ball and try to do some of these movements just sitting up. But Kathy's going to lie on the floor on her back, supine, with the therapy balls on the brick and in the middle of the brick, kind of in the middle, otherwise they'll slide off. And then your occipital ridge also on the balls. So it's a little therapy ball sandwich. So this is position 1. Just take some time here to pay attention to your breath without trying to change it. And then nod. So we're going to do it 6 times, each of the movements 6 times. Nod, chin up, chin down, over the balls. And after 6, start to just go side to side. Come back to center after 6 and make a figure 8 with your nose. Just starting, you can start to the right. 6 times. And 6 times figure 8 in the other direction. And then we're going to go to position 2. You still stay supine, but you're going to look to the right as far as you can go so that really the ball is right behind your ear on the top of the sternocleidomastoid, which ends at the very top of your ear. So you're gonna start nodding here. This could be very tender. So you've looked all the way to the right and now nodding. Up and down. Chin up, chin down. And then side to side. So don't go all the way back to the center. I became jealous and decided I wanted to do this with you. So I'm trying to.
What all that shuffling was.
That's what all that shuffling noise is. Oh my gosh. And then when you're finished, I don't always do things with you. Sometimes I wish I would, and sometimes I do. Yeah, that's tender for me. Now, when you're finished with that, up and down, side to side, you're just going to have to go to the, look to the other side. So look to the other side and nod 6 times. And then side to side, small side to side movement. You're still looking to the left. Come back to center. Now we're going to go to a side lying position. Position 3 is side lying. And you're going to take the ball, one of your therapy balls, outside the bag, out of the bag. We're going to do all 3 movements that happen here. We're going to do them on the right side, and then we'll do them on the left side. Place your ball, the one single ball now, behind your earlobe. This is a tender spot. It's similar to the other one. Similar. A little slightly different location. And then just nod, chin up, chin down. If this bothers you on the other side, like it's bothering me a little bit uncomfortable on the other side, as if I were working there, I'm just going to make it a little slower, a little smaller. I could even stop. Chin up, chin down, and then side to side. You could also make this a little more comfortable by putting a washcloth underneath. I'm going to try that. Put a washcloth on top of your ball so that you're not quite, it's not quite as intense. Yeah, the other side is fun. Wow. Okay. I'm going to stop because it started bothering the other side. Now we're going to go into another location. No, you're going to stay side lying. You're going to take your one ball and put it at your jawbone, at the cheekbone. And then go ahead and nod. Six times. I am unable to continue because my other side bothers me so much. Listen to your own bodies. Here I am telling you to do this while I can't do it. Chin up, chin down. For a while, and then a side to side movement in your cheekbone. The other thing I'm playing around with is the location of my shoulders. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they're not stacked enough. After you've done 6 side to side, open and close your jaw 6 times. The last location with the ball is at the temple. And I changed to no brick with a big set of balls, alpha balls. And that's better for me. and side to side, side to side at the temple. You could also use try a sponge ball here instead of the grippier balls. When you're finished, just flip your head to the other side. And start on the other side. I'm going to use an alpha ball, a big ball. Although I have no idea whether I'll have some of the same issues on the other side. So you're going to start with the ball, single ball, underneath your head, on the block, or like me, if you have an alpha ball, you could take it off the block. Behind the earlobe, nodding. And side to side. It's better on this side. And then move the ball to the cheekbone and start to nod up and down. Side to side. Open and close your mouth. Go to the temple. Start to nod. And side to side. And then come up to seated, your favorite floor seated position. And the first thing I want you to do is just, look left, look right, see how it feels with your newly treated neck and jaws. Does it feel like you can move easier? If you were driving, could you look over your right or your left shoulder easily? I forgot to ask you to do it before this, do this same thing before this, but this is a good before after. We're gonna do, let's do the side bends and spine twists first, and then we'll do some more, some shoulder work and some cervical spine work again. So you're floor seated, your favorite floor seated position, and then just take your arm out to the right along the floor, your right arm. And then the other arm comes up and over. And I'm going to time you, whoops, maybe a little more than you expected. We're talking, let's do 30 seconds since we've already done some time. Okay. Just big side bend, enjoying this. This is a bone building exercise for the spine. And now just go ahead and bring your elbow forward for the rest of the time. Elbow forward and find another stretch along the back of your armpit. Bring your elbow up. Bring your torso up and go to the other side. The left arm goes along the floor. The other arm goes up and over. Keep your hips on the floor. Keep your sits bones on the floor. Breathing. You can actually move your head around if you want. You'll feel the work we just did. Go ahead and bring your elbow forward. The armpit. There's going to be a stretch behind the armpit. Bring your elbow up and then bring your torso up. We'll do that one more time on each side, starting on the right. Right arm slides along the floor. Left arm up and over. Breathing. Thinking about where the cervical, where the thoracic spine is bending. And go ahead and bring your elbow forward for another stretch, a new stretch. Still side bending though. Bring your elbow up, bring your torso up, other side, last side. Top arm up and over. Keep your hips on the floor. Just breathing and enjoying this side bend, this important side bend. We need side bends so that we can stay mobile as we move mostly forward and back in our daily lives. But we need side bends and spine twists to help us do that. Go ahead and bring your elbow forward. Elbow up, torso up. Find a cross-seated position, cross-legged position. Okay, and we're going to do a spine twist with intercostal slide, a rib cage slide, starting with cross legs and the left hand on the right knee. Take your right arm behind you, make a spider with your fingers, and rotate the spine as far as you can go to the right. And when you find the spine twist, keep it, maintain it, and then start to move the rib cage from side to side without involving the shoulders. And while you're maintaining the spine twist. It's a small movement. Come all the way back. Switch legs, switch sides. Right arm on left knee, left arm behind you. Fingers are like a spider, legs of a spider. Rotate your thoracic spine as far as you can to the left. And then maintain that spinal twist or spinal rotation. And start to slide your rib cage from side to side. It's a small movement, And it doesn't involve the shoulders or the upper trapezius. Unwind, unravel all the way. We're switch legs. We're going to do it again. One more set. Left arm on the right knee, right arm behind you with your fingers on the floor, mat behind you. Find your spinal rotation. And when you maintain that, and then a small movement in the rib cage, sliding side to side. If you're involving, if it feels like it's involving your upper trapezius or your shoulders, try to stay out of that, make it smaller, slower. Go ahead and switch legs and switch sides. This is the last seated spot, floor seated spine twist. Right arm, hand, left leg, left knee. Left hand behind you. Rotate the spine. And then maintain the spinal rotation and start to slide the rib cage side to side. It could be a very small movement. And if you start to notice your shoulders getting involved, then you need to make it smaller and slower. Maybe you'll feel the abdominals kick in here to help you. Okay. Come back out, unravel from that. And we're going to do a cervical side bend. So you can sit in your favorite floor seated position. Sit tall. I think I'll time for 30 seconds on this one. And drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And just stay here. We're going to time for 30 seconds. Halfway through, I'll have you move to a slightly different position. But you're still side bending the cervical spine. Go ahead and drop your chin. Find another stretch. Oh, I think I would have rather had this 40 seconds. Slowly bring your chin back and then bring your head back. So 2 different returns. And then I'm going to do 40 for the next time because I think 40 is good. Okay. Drop your left ear to left shoulder. And it's a side bending cervical side bend. So the thoracic spine stays up straight and tall. Your hips are even on the floor. Go ahead and drop your chin forward. Find another stretch. Bring your chin back. Bring your cervical spine back. We're going to do this again, but we're going to add resistance, so it's going to be a totally different stretch. But be sure you release the resistance. You're going to put your right hand on your left ear for the resistance. But release the resistance when you move from to drop your chin. Okay, and come back up. So, because you don't want to be pushing and moving at the same time. So drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Put your right hand on your left ear and press the head, the left ear up into your hand. And just start to breathe. This is a totally different stretch. Sit tall. Notice your breath. Enjoy resistance. This is a Ki-Hara cervical stretch. Now go ahead and release your hand a little bit so you can drop your chin without the resistance. And then add the hand resistance again. And keep going. Press up into your hand. Press your head up into your hand. Release the hand. Bring the chin up. Bring the head up. We're going to do the other side. Drop left ear, left shoulder. Put your left hand on your right ear. Press into the hand with your head and your ear. Stay here and breathe. This is a cervical side bend with added resistance. Be gentle though, don't press too much. Go ahead and release the resistance. Drop your head forward, your chin forward. Add the resistance again and continue. Pressing your side of your head up into your hand. Release the resistance altogether, and then just bring your chin up and bring your head up. Now, go ahead and turn left to right and see how it is. See how what's happening here. Now we're going to do shoulder clams, what I call shoulder clams. Bring your hands up in front of you, interlace your fingers. Press the bottom of the palms together. There should be a hole between your clasped fingers and your palms. Your elbows are up by your chin, no lower than your chin. And you can start with your elbows wide. Imagine there's a sponge ball between your elbows, and go ahead and deflate with your imagination the sponge ball. And then inflate the sponge ball, go the other direction. But do this is all isometric with a little bit of movement, but isometric really. Imagining that you're squeezing something and deflating it, something like a sponge ball or a balloon, and then imagine you're inflating it. Do this 2 more times. This is for the upper traps. And again. And one more time. Bring your hands to your lap and just shrug your shoulders. And we're gonna do what's called Saturday Night Fever. Diana, this might be really good for your shoulder, but you need to listen. Let's do is your shoulder the one that bothers you, or your right shoulder? Right, okay, we're gonna start on the left, so that, one of the things that you can do when you're strategizing around your practice is you can start, and you have an injury, you can start on the uninvolved side, which actually starts to train the involved side. So everything you do on the first side, it actually is noticed by the other side. So you're sitting in a cross-legged position. You're putting your left hand on your right, on your right knee, and your right hand on top of your left wrist. And from here, you're going to bring your left arm up by your left ear, across your body by your left ear, straight up. So have that arm straight up. Now, lift the arm a little bit out of the socket to allow for the downward movement. And this time, you're pressing the hand that's on the wrist, the right hand is pressing down. And the left arm is resisting. This is a Ki-Hara, also stretch. The left arm is resisting, but the right hand is winning. And once you get down to the bottom, you can actually drop your ear. Let's see, which direction do you drop? Drop it away from the arms, the arm that's moving. But not for long, because this is a moving movement, a moving exercise. So go ahead and come up again, all the way up, straight arm. Left arm is straight, comes all the way up by your left ear. Tug on the arm a little bit to move it up and allow more room for the downward movement. And then come on down. All the way down, the hand is winning, the top hand is winning, the left arm is resisting. Let's do it one more time. Up you go. This time, the left arm, the straight arm is winning. The top hand is resisting. Pull your arm a little bit out of the socket to make room for the next movement, the downward movement. Now, the hand presses down, the arm resists. Don't resist. This can be very exhausting. So make it gentle. It's more like a dance than a competition. And stop, and let's switch sides. Now, if this bothers you, switch legs too. If it bothers you, you can stop or make it slower or smaller. So you might not want to come all the way up, right? So starting with your hand on your knee and you're up, the right hand on the left knee, the left hand on the right wrist. Come on up. You're coming across your body all the way up beside your right ear. With resistance, pull the right arm up a little for the downward movement. The left hand presses down and wins. The right arm resists. Maybe you didn't make it all the way up. Maybe your range of motion is smaller. That's okay. You can drop your left ear to your left shoulder for a second, and then come on back up. This time, the right arm is winning. The left hand is resisting. Come all the way up to straight alongside your ear. Pull the arm out of the socket a little bit. Come on down. This time, the hand is winning. The right arm is resisting. We're going to do 2 more of these. Up you go. This time, the straight arm is winning. The left hand is resisting. Come on up, pull on your arm, and then come on back down. Remember that you're resisting. Remember not to resist too much. You'll wear yourself out. In Ki-Hara, you're both strengthening and stretching in the same movement. Well, each of the movements. Come on up again. Pull your arm out of the socket. This is the last one. And stop. And just wiggle and come up to standing. Chest opener at the wall. If you have shoulder issues and can't bring your arms up, I'm trying to figure out an alternative for you besides going directly to the floor. I don't have it yet, so just sit this one out if this bothers your shoulders.
Can they just do one arm?
You could, maybe you could just do one arm. Someone can tell me whether that would work. Do the uninvolved arm. That might work. Go ahead and stand, stacking your hips, knees, and ankles. Bring your arms overhead. Fingers or palm on the wall, creating an upper back bend. So the trick on this is to keep your hips back over your knees so that you're not pushing the front of your pelvis forward in this back bend. It's a back bend from the upper back. This is good for posture, it's good for bone building. If you have osteoporosis, like I do, I guess Christine isn't here, but I know she's especially here for that. And unravel, come out slowly. We're going to do a side spine twist at the wall, right shoulder at the wall, right leg forward, left leg back. Bend your arms and then rotate towards the wall. You may or may not be able to get your elbows, although forearms and elbows all the way down to on the wall. But whatever is touching the wall, let it help you structure and maintain and increase your spine twist. Unravel slowly, slowly come out of this. Do it on the left shoulder against the wall, left foot forward, right foot behind you. Bend your arms, rotate your thoracic spine towards the wall. Let your arms and your fingers and your hands support and increase that twist. Just stay here and breathe. We're going to be here for 40 seconds. Because we are we want to help the bones rebuild. And we want to improve the bone density, DEXA scores for bone density. Unravel. Find your way down to the mat. The first thing we're going to do is another proning hypopressive. So you're going to start on your hands and knees, but then we're going to go and do a back extension, close up sort of in the ordinary fashion. But I like this now that I found out about specific, I've heard about proning, but I haven't seen this specific movement. I think it's perfect. So we're combining proning and a hypopressive that I already knew about. So the position you're taking, the hips are up, you're on your knees, the elbows are on the floor, you're making a triangle with your hands, and then bringing your head down on the floor. This is a proning position. This is also one of the hypopressive positions, actually. Let's just stay here and take a few breaths. So the reason this is being used in ICUs across the country for COVID patients is it allows people to breathe more deeply into the lowest part of the lungs, which is what gets all congested and stuck in COVID. And it also helps to allow the gunk that's collected in the lungs to drain. So now we're going to do 3 breaths and then hold for 12. So inhale and exhale. Inhale Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And inhale and exhale. And then find your way onto your stomach for back extension, level 1 and 2. This time your arms are beside your hips, palms up. You may have a towel or two underneath your head. Take an inhale to prepare, an exhale to lift your arms, your chest, and your head. Remember, you're in a head ramping position so that your cervical spine is in line with your thoracic spine. Come up a little higher if you can with your chest. And then take an inhale to prepare to come down, and then an exhale to come down. We're going to go back up and do airplane. These movements, your movement may be a lot smaller, mine is, than Kathy's. That's because she has the privilege of doing this 3 times a week. And she has been doing it for a while. Okay, take an inhale. Exhale, come on up. And then inhale to prepare for airplane and exhale to come into airplane. Stay here. We're going to stay here for 30 seconds. Keep breathing. And if you can, if you dare, bring your chest up a little higher. This is a back bend, but it's also building muscles in the spinal erectors, building the muscles along the side of the upper spine. And then inhale to prepare to come down, and then exhale and come on down. Bring your arms out into a T for a thoracic release. Look to the right. Look to the right, bring your right leg up and over the left leg. So the hips and legs can move all they want, just as long as you keep your arms on the floor. The hardest arm, when you're lifting your right leg, the hardest arm to keep on the floor will be your right arm. And just stay here and breathe, and hopefully you'll feel some release in the upper back. If you don't feel it now, you'll feel it cumulatively as you continue to do this movement. Other side, look left, lift the left leg up, keep the right arm down. The left leg goes back and behind the right leg. Come on back. Find your way onto your back, supine, for Yoga Nidra 61-point guided meditation. I'm going to turn my video off so I don't have to watch myself reading this script. You want to find a warm, comfortable way to be on the floor. Your knees can be bent, your legs can be extended. Your knees can be up on a chair or a couch. Start to notice your breath going in and out. Noticing the abdomen rise and fall. Now bring your attention and your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes your 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and start to bring your attention back to the room and extend your legs. Extend your arms overhead. Stretch your legs and your arms in opposite directions. See if you can create a little more like traction, a little more traction, and a little more space between your pelvis and your rib cage. Stretch left, stretch right. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles in one direction and then the other. Hug your right knee to your chest. Hug your left knee into your chest. Hug both knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Really nice relief for the lower back. And whenever you're ready, roll all the way over to the side, using your bottom arm as a pillow and your left arm, put your palm down on the floor, and use your hand, that hand, to bring yourself up to seated without rounding your back. Find your favorite floor seated position. Everybody should unmute themselves. Good. Unmute yourself. Bring your hands together. Palms together. Press very strongly. See if you can feel the freedom in your neck and shoulders from today's work. And then just release that so it's very soft now. Lift your occipital ridge. It's like head ramping, lift it up towards the sky so it can roll forward, rock and roll forward, nodding, bowing to each other. noticing, acknowledging, and honoring the light in each of us. Remembering that we are all one light. We'll close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to take the pause the recording. People can leave or stay.